All right, welcome to Having Fun with Advanced Astrology. Now, most of my channel where I'm talking about astrology, in my opinion, I'm doing it in a very fun way. Um, Now, what I mean by that is I'm actually building upon certain elements in astrology and also just like certain techniques, methods, the future of it. And I'm going into depths and details that not any other astrologer I don't see doing this in this way. A lot of people that are into astrology on YouTube will just talk about transits, general transits, and what that's doing for your sun sign, your ascendant. But what they won't do is go into detail and tell you this is what's actually happening with so much precision that you're going to be shocked. Um, but they just say enough to keep you coming back and keep them paying them crazy amounts of money. Which, in my opinion, astrology is free. Um, at least it is with me. So I want to get into the synastry analysis first, and this is the first tab in having fun with advanced astrology, um, where I'm going to be going over a conceptual lesbian couple and their synastry, the interplay of two souls. The synastry reveals a relationship of immense depth, fate, and transformative potential, characterized by a trine-dominated water element foundation, but with critical squares that provide the necessary friction for growth. Now, another thing with synastry, and just astrology in general, um, they won't actually for example, I'm on Google Docs and I'm showing you guys what I've written down here and what I have in here, but if I was just doing this like with my face and talking at you, would you really want to see that? Or would you actually want to read what I'm reading off for you and understand it better? And everyone learns different, but personally, I would like to see it and understand it, read it. So, the core emotional and spiritual bond, the harmony. So, Sun trine Sun, Scorpio Pisces, 113 degrees. I said that really weird. It should be just 113 degrees. But Sun trine Sun, interesting, right? We have Scorpio and Pisces, and theoretically that's already a good combination because they're both water signs, and Scorpio is very mysterious, but also so seductive that Pisces is just overwhelmingly attracted to it. Um, and I've had a lot of Scorpio influence in my life. In fact, I have a Taurus ascendant, meaning Scorpio is my descendant, and just thinking out loud here, but maybe astrology really does make sense. Let's think about this. Let's use our critical thinking skills. Because how is it that my parents, for example, my dad's in Aries, sun in Aries, my mother is a sun in Sagittarius. They've been together for a very long time. A very long time. And they have other placements, of course. But what I'm trying to say fundamentally is the sun signs and the elements. If you don't know, Aries and Sagittarius are both fire signs. They get along well enough to argue every day and still have the tag married. So that's what I'm trying to get at. So Sun trine Sun with Scorpio and Pisces, though. And they're actually at only 1 degree trine. So this is the cornerstone of the relationship. This is a profound soul-level understanding. Both operate from a place of emotional depth, intuition, and passion. Partner A's Scorpio Sun provides focus, intensity, and penetrating insight, which flows effortlessly into partner B's Pisces Sun's compassion, spirituality, and universality. This is a classic soulmate aspect, suggesting innate compatibility in how they express their core selves. Excuse me. Now, I'm going to get into the Sun conjunct Venus and trine Uranus. And again, astrologers they're not going to sit here and they're not going to go in detail about what any astrological terminology actually means. They'll just sit there and say, well, a trine is happening, or a conjunction's happening, or a sextile is happening, a square's happening, and then maybe they'll explain it verbatim. But will they sit there and say, like, actually give you a concept to think about with that? I don't think so. At least I haven't seen it. Sun conjunct Venus and trine Uranus. So partner A, Scorpio Sun, to partner B's Pisces, Venus, and Uranus. Partner A's essence, Sun, is in near perfect harmony with partner B's love, nature, Venus, and radical individuality, Uranus. This creates an electrifying, unconventional, and deeply romantic attraction because partner A feels inspired and liberated by partner B's unique, accepting, and possibly queer affirming love. The 005-degree orb to Uranus is exceptional, marking this as a radically authentic, freedom-loving bond that defies convention. They have a mutual Sun-Venus trines, okay? They have mutual Sun-Venus trines. The reciprocal trines, partner B's Venus, also trines partner A's Sun, cement a powerful feedback loop of affection and recognition. They adore each other's core being. And here's another thing. We don't necessarily need to get into too much detail to actually show you what's going on here. I'm just going to get this going here. All right. So we're going to underline some stuff. So now we know there's a Sun trine Sun. It's Scorpio and Pisces at 113 degrees. We also know that Sun conjunct Venus and trine Uranus because partner A Scorpio Sun to partner B's Pisces, Venus, and Uranus. We know it's a 005-degree orb to Uranus. We also have the mutual Sun-Venus trines. They're reciprocal trines because partner B's Venus also trines partner A's Sun. And when we look at this in more detail, what did we just find out about partner B's Venus? We know that partner B's Venus is in Pisces, where it's exalted. So that's what you need to know first. Exalted, sorry for my shitty handwriting, people. My partner B has an exalted Venus, and it's in Pisces. Okay? And what do we already know about partner B? We know that partner B has a Sun in Pisces. So all these Pisces placements, and they're in synastry with a Scorpio, the Sun and Scorpio placements. And what that's doing, I just want to be very clear. So exalted Venus in Pisces, but not just that. This person also has Uranus in Pisces. So what I'm trying to get at here is multiple water placements. Okay. Oop. Okay. So they adore each other's core being. They're water signs. The synastry is amazing so far. So we have Moon, Neptune trine. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep underlining this. And the reason it's in blue is because we're talking about water signs. If it was fire signs, it'd be red. Trust me. So Moon, Neptune trine is at 158 degrees. Emotional Moon and spiritual idealistic Neptune harmony. They idealize each other's emotional nature. And what does that mean? They share a deep, often nonverbal psychic connection. Very interesting. Why could that be with Moon Neptune trine? Does anybody know? Why this would foster immense empathy and romantic dissolution of boundaries? Does anybody have any idea? So, first of all, what is a trine? A trine, people, we're just going to actually do this for you. We're going to actually stupid it down. It's an aspect of 120 degrees, 1/3 of a circle. And now that we know what a trine is, we know that Moon and Neptune are in that 120 degree space together. Mercury trine Venus. Again, this is also a 120 degree thing. except this is exactly 222 degrees. Communication is sweet. It's affectionate and harmonious. They express love through words and share artistic or aesthetic tastes. Conversations feel loving and supportive. Because why? Because look at what we're dealing with. So Moon, and we have Neptune. These are feminine signs. And we're dealing with a lesbian relationship, a lesbian conceptual relationship. And then we have Mercury, which I'll admit it is more of a masculine sign. But Mercury is also androgynous. That's also what I want to write down here. So Venus, we now know, it's exalted in Pisces. So it's fucking having a beautiful time. Now I want to talk about the catalyst for growth and tension, the friction. And not every relationship is going to just be sunshine and butterflies like we've talked about. But there will be squares in Synastry. There's going to be tight orbs and aspects and just stuff that can go very, very wrong, or it could be communicated through. And arguments are not really arguments, but they're more spit spats, like a tit for tat, like, you know. And that's the thing with any relationship, whether it's romantic or not. And we could do Synastry of business partnerships. We can do Donald Trump and JD Vance Synastry, that's coming. That's going to be a next video. I don't see any other astrologer talking about this. The actual Synastry composite charts, conceptual composite charts for these political individuals that have very strong business relationships. And I'm going to be the first YouTuber to do it at 21 years old. So let's talk about the catalyst for growth and tension, the friction. You know, there's Moon square ascendant, and it's at 021 degrees. It's very tight. It's a critical friction point. Partner A's expressive, proud Leo Moon. And now we know, really quick, this is very tight. So partner A's, who has a what? Sun in Scorpio, has a Leo Moon, and it clashes with partner B's stable central Taurus ascendant, which we didn't know. And what is Taurus ascendant? Taurus isn't very, the ascendant and Taurus don't go together very well. Because why? Because Algol, which is a demon star, I should have just fucking drew a star. Algol, the demon star, affects specifically Taurus ascendant at about, I think it's 25 degrees or more of Taurus. Because Venus is, you know, it wants luxury, it wants harmony, it wants relatability, it wants to be comfortable, and life is not like that every day. Which is why Sun in Libra is debilitated. Venus is not very happy here. But anyways, partner A may feel emotionally dramatic or need recognition in ways that feel overly intense or too much to partner B's steady, grounded persona. Conversely, partner B's apparent stubbornness or need for routine can frustrate partner A's emotional need for validation and excitement. This is the primary rub in daily relating, requiring conscious adjustment. So really quick, we're going to have to underline what this actually means, because we now know that partner B has an ascendant in Taurus, and Algol is possibly affecting it. So it's an apparent stubbornness, because that is Taurus, or a need for routine, that's also Taurus. And partner A with a Leo moon, and really quick, Leo is fire. And what is Taurus? Taurus is earth. Fundamentally, would you want fire and earth together? No, because all hell is going to break loose. All right, now let's talk about Moon opposition Venus. It's at a 628 degree opposition. While the Sun and Venus is harmonized, partner A's emotional needs, Moon and Leo, can be at odds with partner B's way of loving, Venus and Pisces. So what I'm going to do here is actually use the highlighter now, because what we're doing is trying to help you understand. So Moon opposition Venus. And I'm actually going to have to start to dumb stuff down for everybody. Opposition. Oops. So what is an opposition? It's a challenging planetary aspect where 2 points in the chart are exactly 180 degrees apart. So, what does it mean for it to be an opposition? 180 degrees apart. So, now we know that that's happening with partner A's moon in Leo and partner B's Venus in Pisces. And again, when you're mixing when you're mixing fire and then you put it with water, what do you get? Not very good things. Partner A may need demonstrative, loyal affection, while partner B offers a more diffuse, forgiving, and less possessive love. And why is this? Because partner A has a moon in Leo, and what is Leo? Leo is demonstrative, okay? Because it's the sun, but it's actually in the moon. Even still, this person's going to be comfortable being demonstrative. Loyal affection, of course, but partner B is a more diffuse, forgiving, and this is all Pisces, and less possessive love. But Pisces can be possessive. This can lead to misunderstandings, but also helps balance each other. They also have a Mars square Mars, which is at 440 degrees. And I feel like I'm not dumbing things down enough. So that's why I'm going to keep coming back and showing you guys word for word what these things actually mean. Oops. So what is a square in astrology? It's a challenging 90-degree angle. Okay? Simple. So a square is a 90-degree angle. And it's a classic aspect for sexual chemistry and conflict. Partner A's Mars in Libra seeks peace, diplomacy, and aesthetic harmony in action and sex. While partner B's Mars in Capricorn is goal-oriented, disciplined, and authoritative. Conflicts can arise over how to get things done, initiate sex, or handle assertiveness. The square provides the spark and challenge that keeps the dynamic from becoming stagnant. So let's just continue to talk about things in more detail. So we know that partner A now has a Mars in Libra. And what does that mean? Libra is peace, diplomacy, and aesthetic harmony because it's the scales. It's balancing scales. What is Capricorn? Well, first of all, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, meaning that this person loves to work. This person loves to get things done. This person loves to be disciplined. This person is very authoritative in their communication because they have Mars exalted in the natal chart, which is telling them you got to do this. You have to be who you are. You have to be disciplined. You have to have that Saturnian structure. In Libra, when Mars is in Libra, it's looking for aesthetic harmony. And it's not going to find that all the time. So this is how conflicts can arise with someone that has a Mars in Capricorn and Mars in Libra. Now, first of all, what are the elements that we're dealing with? Well, Libra is an air sign. Okay? So we need to understand that first. That Libra is air. And Capricorn is not that. It is earth. So what happens when you mix earth and air together? You get a very cold earth. You get a very cold, distant, stagnant earth. Because when you put Libra and Capricorn together, what's going to happen? Capricorn is very domineering in its senses, and Libra is very submissive. Libra is very submissive because it's Venusian. What is Capricorn? Like I just said, Capricorn is what? It's actually right down there. Capricorn is Saturn. Okay? Libra is Venus. The planet of pleasure and beauty is mixing with the planet of discipline and structure. What could possibly go wrong? Mars square Mars. So anyways, let's talk about Saturn square Moon, which is at 729 degrees. We know that partner B, Saturn in Gemini, brings lessons, restrictions, or feelings of responsibility to partner A's emotional world, Moon. This can feel limiting at times. Why are you so critical of my feelings? But it also provides structure and maturity to the emotional flow, helping to ground partner A's Leo Moon dramatics. It's a tough love aspect that, if integrated, builds enduring emotional resilience. So first of all, what is Saturn square Moon? Well, we just had the square discussion. We know it's a 90-degree angle. But this time it's Saturn and the Moon making this 90-degree angle. So partner B has a Saturn in Gemini. And partner A, we know, has that Leo Moon. So Gemini and Leo work very well together because why? Well, Leo is fire. And what is Gemini? Gemini is air. So fire and air work well together. The transformative and fated undercurrents. Moon trine Pluto at 043 degrees. Saturn trine Venus 117 degrees. So what is this talking about here now? Moon trine Pluto. Can anyone remember what a trine is? We just talked about this. So a trine is 120 degrees. So now I can just write that. 120 degrees for Moon trine Pluto and 120 degrees Saturn trine Venus. An incredibly powerful emotional transformation bond. Partner A's Moon finds deep regenerative power through the relationship. They are not afraid to delve into the emotional underworld together. This creates an unbreakable emotional depth and a shared capacity for rebirth from crises. Saturn trine Venus. This provides enduring commitment to the beautiful Venus connections. Partner B's Saturn, structure, time, stabilizes and commits to the love of Venus. It's a through thick and thin promise that solidifies the romantic trines. Because Saturn trine Venus through thick and thin promise. We get that with Saturn and Venus. That's the positive aspects. Like what we were just talking about with Saturn squaring the Moon and then Mars squaring Mars. There's some tension, of course. But when Venus is involved in a trine with a planet in Synastry, it can produce very good effects. So the vertex and node activations. Multiple tight aspects to the vertex, a point of fated encounters and nodes. Karma, direction, scream fated connection. So let's do this. Vertex and node activations. Now, if you don't know what your vertex is, you need your time of birth. You need, obviously, the date. And you need the place you are born in. And now, what are the nodes? I talk about this a lot in my other videos. Rahu and Ketu, also known as south and north of the moon. Okay, so multiple tight aspects to the vertex, point of fated encounters, and nodes. Karma, direction, scream, fated connection. Mercury conjunct vertex south node, and we're going to look into conjunctions again. Uranus sextile trine nodal axes. and Moon Trine North Node all indicate this relationship is a significant meeting meant to propel both toward their soul's evolution, North Node in Aries and Gemini. Oops. Just gonna get that in there. I hate when it just clicks to a different tab. Moon Trine North Node. Okay. So we know that partner A has Rahu in Gemini. We know that partner B has Rahu in Aries. So what is this doing? Does anybody have any idea? Well, first of all, when Rahu's in Gemini, what does that mean for partner A? Where is it descending? Where is Ketu? That means that partner A's Ketu is in Sagittarius. And now I know that partner B's Ketu, with Rahu being in Aries, is going to be in Libra. Now, what does that mean for a relationship? When you have Rahu in Gemini meeting with Rahu in Aries, Gemini and Aries, we just talked about this. What is Gemini? Air. What gets along really well with air? Fire. Which is also Sagittarius, where Ketu is in partner A's chart, and air is in partner B's chart in Ketu. So this is a very significant meeting meant to propel both toward their soul's evolution. Now let's talk about the house overlays, the stage of the relationship. So partner A and partner B's houses. Oop, and that's my drug dealer, so give me 1 sec. All right, sorry about that last distraction. Let's keep going. Talking about the house overlays, the stage of the relationship. So partner A and partner B's houses. Partner A's personal planets, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, all fall in B's 6th house of daily routine, service, and health. This is very important. This is astonishingly important. When we're talking about house overlays, and when we're doing synastry, you need to know the house overlays. You need to know the stages of these relationships that you want to dissect with certain calculations. So partner A and partner B's houses, we know that partner A has the sun in Scorpio. We know that Mercury is in Libra. We know that Venus, I'm going to say, is in Libra. And then Mars is also in Libra. So there's a lot of air in partner A's chart. They all fall in B's 6th house of daily routine, service, and health. It actively serves, so partner A actively serves, helps, and refines partner B's daily life. This can be deeply nurturing, but also lead to partner A feeling like they are in a servant role. Partner A's moon and Jupiter, and again, what is partner A's moon? It's in Leo. And Jupiter in B's 4th house. What is the 4th house? Of family, emotions, but mainly the 4th house of family. It means partner A feels at home with partner B and expands partner B's sense of family and emotional security. So that's good news, but there's also bad news with it. Like partner A feeling like they're in a servant role. Because why? Because Sun is in Scorpio, Mercury, Venus, and Mars fall in Libra. And Libra already feels like a servant because it's for the people. Like Aquarius and Gemini. Air is about people. So now let's look at this. Partner B and partner A's houses. So we just looked at partner A and partner B's houses. Now what about partner B, who has the Sun in Pisces in partner A's houses? So we know that partner B's sun, we just talked about this, Pisces, a whole bunch of Pisces placements. So Sun, Mercury, Uranus, and Neptune in partner A's 4th house. And these are all Pisces placements. Sorry for the handwriting today. Holy shit, I need a stylus. I'm using my fingertips. So because of these planets in Pisces in partner A's 4th house, it means partner B is foundational to partner A's sense of home, security, and emotional roots. Because we're talking about the 4th house. Partner B fundamentally changes partner A's private world. Partner B's Venus in partner A's 3rd house. So this is important. What's going on here? We know that partner B's Venus is in partner A's 3rd house. But what is partner B's Venus? It's exalted in Pisces. And it's in the 3rd house of partner A's chart, which literally sweetens all communication. Because why? It's exalted in Pisces. Venus is so happy in Pisces. It loves it. It loves to just have fun and not take things so seriously. Crucially, partner B's ascendant falls in partner A's 7th house. So again, partner B's ascendant, what is it? We know that unfortunately it's in Taurus, and not even unfortunately, because Taurus is wealthy, right? Taurus is known to be very wealthy. A lot of the earth signs are wealthy. But Taurus is also afflicted by the evil fixed star Algol, which we talked about earlier. And it's depending on if it's at 25 degrees or more of Taurus in the ascendant. But it falls in partner A's 7th house regardless. So partner B, and by the way, what is the 7th house? 7th house is love and romance and connection. Libra rules the 7th house. Venus loves the 7th house. So partner B is literally perceived by partner A as the quintessential partner. Look at this. Partner B is literally perceived by partner A as the quintessential partner. Oh my god, now who's calling me? Guys, I'm so fucking sorry. I should have had Do Not Disturb on during this entire video. But I have it on now. So let's just finally finish this part up, because I have another tab where I'm talking specifically about Synastry. So let's just get everything back to the way that it was. Okay, so we were talking about partner B's ascendant falling in partner A's 7th house. Partner B being perceived by partner A as the quintessential partner. The other. This is a powerful marriage indicator in Synastry. If you're not married and you want to get married, or if you are married and you have no idea what Synastry is, you're in for disaster. That's what I'm going to tell you. You are in for disaster. You need to understand your Synastry. Are you actually going to get along, or are you just going to fight all day? You have to know your Synastry if you really want to know. And for that, you need your accurate time of birth. You need your accurate partner's time of birth. All of it. So, Pluto contacts. Let's talk about Pluto here. And Pluto doesn't get talked about enough in Synastry at all. A lot of the, it's an outer versus inner planets discussion that I'm not going to get into in this video. And also the fact that I talk about Vedic astrology as well. Anyways, so partner A's Pluto is in partner B's 7th house. What does that mean? Well, Pluto is a very fiery planet. Okay? It's very fiery. It directly transforms the partnership dynamic for B. Because it's in the 7th house. So partner B's Pluto is in A's 2nd house. So what are the differences here in contrast? What are the differences? Can anybody take a guess? With just knowing, not even knowing what sign Pluto's in for both of these people. We just know that Pluto for partner A is in partner B's 7th house, and for partner B, Pluto is in partner A's 2nd house. What could that mean? Well, not only is it directly transforming the partnership dynamic for partner B, but it can transform partner A's values and sense of self-worth. Okay? Let's talk about part 2, composite chart synthesis, the relationship as a third entity. While a precise composite requires a midpoint calculation, that's another thing I want you guys to learn, midpoints. The synastry points overwhelmingly to a composite chart likely dominated by water and fixed energy, with strong Aquarius, Uranus themes. Let's look at the composite sun. So likely in Pisces or late Aquarius, given the strong Pisces partner B and Scorpio partner A synastry and the exact sun Uranus synastry, which we already talked about. Strong Pisces and Scorpio synastry. This suggests the relationship's core purpose is spiritual union, radical acceptance. Oops, let's just use the highlighter. Radical acceptance, transcending boundaries. It's a compassionate, artistic, and potentially unconventionally queer entity. Composite moon, likely in Leo or Libra, and these signs go along well together because why? They have synastry in their moons as well. So what are we looking at when we just have the big three? So let's just write down the big three before I continue with this. So I'll just say PA, PB. So we know that partner A has sun. This is a shitty sun, but I'm trying to help you guys understand. Scorpio. We know that Scorpio was also rising for this partner. And we also know that A has moon in Leo. What do we know about partner B? Well, sun, I'll just draw these really quick. So ascendant is in Taurus. The moon is in Libra. Oops. I'm all over the fucking place. I hope you guys are watching this and understanding. And sun is in Pisces. So what's going on here? When we have the moons, they have perfect synastry. Just based off the big three, if you don't even know the rest of your chart calculations, but you know your big three, looking at this would tell you they get along well. Because sun is in Scorpio, sun is in Pisces. Ascendant's in Scorpio, ascendant's in Taurus. Moon is in Leo, moon is in Libra. And I will say with the ascendants, that's where things could actually get challenging. Because if you're confused, you're like, I thought maybe that wouldn't get along, even though it is earth and water. Why would they get along? Well, Taurus, like we talked about earlier, when Taurus is rising, what does it mean when it's falling? Scorpio. Ascendants and descendants. And that's for partner B. And we know for partner A, Scorpio was rising. So descending is Taurus. Okay, so they mirror each other. Now, the relationship's emotional style is warm, loyal, expressive, and oriented toward creating beauty and harmony. The Leo moon square composite ascendant, see below, would mirror the synastry's moon ascendant square. Composite Venus-Uranus conjunction. Given the multiple exact synastry ties, this is almost certain. The relationship's love expression, Venus, is inherently unconventional, freedom-loving. Because why? Venus is exalted in Pisces for the 1 millionth, 10 millionth time. Venus loves to be in Pisces. Okay? Detached from tradition and electrically attracted to otherness. This is a profoundly queer signature, affirming a love that exists outside societal norms. So, composite ascendant and key squares. The synastry's tight moon square ascendant and Mercury square MC, also known as the midheaven. Suggest these will be key composite chart squares. The relationship likely presents to the world, remember that's the ascendant, in a way that challenges its inner emotional needs, which is the moon. Its communication, which is in Mercury, of course, because Mercury's communication planet, it may clash with its public goals, reputation, MC, and midheaven. These are growth edges. Composite Saturn trine Venus. Synastry Saturn-Venus trine ensures this composite aspect exists, granting the relationship staying power, maturity, and the ability to turn its unique love into a lasting structure. Part 3, Advanced Synthesis and Queer Astrology Lens. And then we're almost finished with this part of the video. So beyond gendered archetypes. In the Lilith Dark Moon axis, Chiron theme. So first, beyond gendered archetypes. In lesbian synastry, okay? Female and female, no testicles involved or penises. Mars and Venus aspects take on heightened significance. Here, Mars square Mars is less about masculine conflict and more about a dynamic tension and active principle, desire and assertion between two women. Venus-Uranus conjunction is liberated from heteronormative expectations, emphasizing a love based on unique individuality and friendship. Aquarius. Let's talk about the Lilith Dark Moon axis. So partner A's Lilith in B's 12th house. Hidden realms, the unconscious, and partner A's Lilith is in Aries. And it's in this 12th house, where partner B has Rahu in Aries. Look at that. In the 12th house. So, partner A's Black Moon Lilith and partner B's 12th house of Hidden Realms, the unconscious, opposite partner B's Jupiter, can indicate a powerful exploration of taboo sexuality, repressed rage, or the wild feminine that is both expansive, because Jupiter is Jovian, and hidden. This is deep shadow work territory that can be profoundly bonding. The Chiron theme. Synastry squares to Chiron. Very important. Sun, Mercury, Moon indicate where the relationship activates core wounds. That's Chiron. With Chiron in Capricorn and Aquarius, so let me be very specific. Chiron for partner B is in Aquarius. Chiron for partner A is in Capricorn. These wounds around authority, structure, father figures, or social alienation are triggered to be healed through the relationship's Saturn-Venus trines and Uranus-powered authenticity. A fated alchemy of soul and will. This is a relationship of extraordinary depth, because why? Scorpio and Pluto. Spiritual empathy, Pisces, Neptune, but Pisces isn't just Neptune. So Pisces is a king. Pisces is Jupiter and Neptune. And fateful electricity, Uranus vertex. The water trines provide a vast intuitive ocean of understanding, making the couple feel like they are soulmates from the first meeting. Oops. So, however, its genius and longevity lie in its productive friction. The Moon ascendant square forces emotional authenticity into the grounded world of daily life, and the Mars square provides the assertive spark necessary for growth. Saturn contacts provide the container, and the Uranian signature insists on freedom and authenticity above all. So this isn't a simple or easy bond. It is going to be intense, because we're dealing with intense water signs. These are very water signs are known to be intense. It is a conscious, evolving partnership that demands work on communication, because what partnership doesn't? Mercury midheaven square and emotional presentation, Moon ascendant square. But for two women willing to engage with its full depth, it offers a rare alchemy, a spiritually fated union that has the gritty, real-world tools of Saturn Mars squares to build an enduring, radically authentic life together. So I'm glad we got through that part, slowly but surely. Next, I want to get into the anthology of Synastry, and the volumes on the alchemy of union. This is a collection of conceptual frameworks for interpreting the interplay of destinies. And then I also have the astrological field report, Synastry and composite chart analysis, advanced dissection of notable dyadic relationships, astrological intelligence division. Let's say it was made in October 26, 2023. The framework is Hellenistic, psychological, and elective astrological synthesis, where I'm going over Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. I'll be going over, let's see who else is in here. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the writers of South Park, Steve Jobs, David Bowie, Prince, and then my conclusions. So if you guys want to stay tuned, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. So now we're going to talk about J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and their synastry. And this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. So let's get into it. Synastry and composite chart analysis, advanced dissection of notable dyadic relationships. We will be going over them, but also other people. This is including Hellenistic, psychological, and elective astrological synthesis. Here's my conceptual framework before we begin. This analysis employs a tri-tiered method of synastry, cross-reading of two natal charts focusing on planetary interchanges, nodal ties, and angular contacts, conjunctions to ascendant, midheaven, IC, DC. And for those that don't understand what I'm talking about when I say MC, ICDC, what does ascendant mean? It's your rising sign. It was the zodiac sign that was rising at your birth. Your midheaven is your career. And let's do this. The Imum Coli and Descendant. Okay, it's the fourth house cusp. So now that we know that, oops, keeps taking me back. Okay, that is the Imum Coli. I feel like I could be writing this way better, but let's see. Also known as the fourth house cusp. And with the DC, essentially what that is trying to tell us is what was like with the ascendant and how that's the rising sign. We know that that is the descendant. It was descending. So, composite chart, the relationship entity chart, midpoint method. And in my last video, I didn't go over this. I wasn't going as slow as I'm going to go in this video, but let's talk about midpoints and the midpoint method. Essentially revealing the duo's public purpose, structural pressures, and combined energetic output. So just give me 1 second. Dominant archetypal complexes, identification of overriding planetary patterns. For example, Saturn, Pluto for power dynamics, Jupiter, Neptune for myth making. So we're going over dominant archetypal complexes, the composite chart, and synastry in general. So what I'm going to do is first explain what midpoints are. I'll just have Google dumb it down for me. The midpoint is the exact mathematical 180-degree point halfway between two planets or natal chart points. So for now, we'll just write 180-degree point. All right, let's get into Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. This is a natal overview. So Trump was born, and I don't know what color to use for Trump. I'd say orange because he's fucking orange. So Trump was born June 14th, 1946, 10:54 a.m. EST, Jamaica, New York, with a Gemini sun in the 10th house of public image. And he has a Leo moon conjunct Jupiter in the 12th house with a Leo ascendant. So already off the bat, Donald Trump is a menace to society. So what we know about Trump so far is, well, we know that we'll just say Trump is A, and we'll have Vance as B. So Trump has a Leo moon, he has a sun in Gemini, and his rising isn't, his Leo rising. So Gemini sun, Leo moon, Leo rising. And what do we know about J.D. Vance? We'll figure that out in a second here. But first, key to Donald Trump. He has a sun conjunct Mercury in Gemini. He's a communicator, he's a strategist. He has Saturn in Cancer in the 7th house, the establishment as a restrictive opponent. Pluto in Leo in the 1st house, transformative, overpowering persona. This is our key to understanding Donald Trump. So, Sun conjunct Mercury in Gemini. Saturn in Cancer in the 7th house. Pluto and Leo in the 1st house. Now for J.D. Vance, he was born August 2nd, 1984. The time is unknown, but he was born in Middletown, Ohio, with the Sun in Leo, the Moon in Cancer, and a Capricorn rising. Speculative based on public demeanor, because we don't have his time of birth. And here's the key for Vance, even though we don't have his time of birth, based off of the Leo Sun. And what we're going to assume is a Cancer Moon and a Capricorn rising. So Saturn in Scorpio, likely in the 4th or 5th house. Intense discipline around roots, creation. And then North Node. What is the North Node? North Node is Rahu in Gemini. Karmic destiny tied to communication. Trump's sun sign. Uranus, Neptune, and Sagittarius conjunct the IC. And again, for those that can't remember already, what's the IC? It's the 4th house cusp. Oops. So, radicalization, idealization of homeland. So now I'm going to punch in those calculations even though we don't have an accurate time of birth. We're going to say that J.D. Vance has a Capricorn rising, that his moon is in Cancer, and that his sun is in Leo. Already, Gemini and Leo go hand in hand. Leo and Cancer don't work too well. Leo and Capricorn also, I wouldn't say work too well either. But Gemini and Leo work together. Synastry, the alchemical bond. So, we're going to talk about the power engine first. Then we're going to get into the strategic mind meld. And then structural binding. And the shadow resonance. So, let's pay attention.
The power engine. Trump's Leo ascendant and moon conjunct Vance's Leo sun. This is the cornerstone. So Vance experiences Trump as the embodiment of his own solar identity. Charismatic, central, regal. Trump feels instinctively recognized and mirrored. He sees me as I am. And this creates profound loyalty and identification. The strategic mind meld. Trump's Gemini sun, Mercury conjunct Vance's North Node in Gemini. Vance's soul growth direction node is literally animated by Trump's core intellect and communication style. Trump becomes a karmic teacher figure for Vance in the arena of media and messaging. Structural binding. Vance's Saturn in Scorpio squares Trump's Saturn in Cancer. This is a fated taskmaster aspect. It creates friction around duties, security, Cancer, and power, debt, Scorpio, but forces a disciplined, enduring structure onto the relationship. It's not easy, but it is binding. They work through shared burdens. The shadow resonance. Trump's Pluto and Leo in the first opposes Vance's Uranus, Neptune, and Sagittarius, the fourth house cusp, medium Emum Coli. This is the radicalizing trigger. Trump's transformative volcanic persona, Pluto, directly challenges and activates Vance's deepest, most unconscious ideals about America, tradition, and rebellion. Vance's worldview is permanently altered by Trump's power. Composite chart, the MAGA air entity. Composite sun in Virgo, likely the 10th house. Composite moon conjunct Pluto in Scorpio, likely the 4th or 5th house. Composite Saturn in Sagittarius, square composite Mercury in Virgo. So first of all, composite sun in Virgo, likely in the 10th house. The relationship's public purpose is detailed. Critical service, okay? And systemic cleaning. We're already seeing this with what? Ice. It presents as hyper-competent. Ignore that. And focused on pragmatic execution of an agenda. Composite moon conjunct Pluto in Scorpio, likely the 4th or 5th house. The emotional core is intensely private, transformative, and power-focused. There's a shared obsession with legacy, psychological warfare, and controlling the narrative from behind the scenes. Deep regenerative loyalty mixed with paranoia. Composite Saturn in Sagittarius, square composite Mercury in Virgo. The central challenge is between dogma, ideology, Saturn in Sag, and meticulous fact-checking, communication, Mercury in Virgo. This creates a tense dynamic between true belief and strategic messaging. The relationship's work is to bridge this gap. Composite midheaven in Leo. The public face is undeniably Trumpian, charismatic, dramatic, attention commanding. When I say Trump is charismatic, I mean if you're fucking radically right-wing, then sure. Anyways, so archetypal verdict. The king and his sword. Trump, Leo king, anoints Vance, Capricorn rising, Saturnian air, as the instrument of his legacy, as his VP. The Synastry shows deep psychic recognition. The composite reveals an entity built for enduring political combat and legacy building, with a profoundly intense and secretive emotional core. Could that mean that they're possibly, I don't know, sue me, please, for saying this, but just looking at their Synastry, making some observations. So next, let's get into Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Natal overview. So Trey Parker was born on October 19th in 1969. And I'm going to change it to pink because that's Libra. Or maroon, whatever. So Libra sun, Aries moon. The key for understanding Trey Parker is Uranus and Libra, revolutionizing partnerships, comedy, Mars and Cancer, edgy defensive humor. By the way, Mars is debilitated in Cancer. does not do very well here at all. So, Stone was born May 26th in 1971 with the Sun in Gemini, and already we're seeing good synastry with the air signs of Libra and Gemini. Aries moon, Aquarius moon, so we're seeing fire and we're seeing air. Key, Saturn in Gemini, disciplined writer, structuring wit, Neptune in Sagittarius, opposite Parker's Uranus, ideology blurring, inspiration. Synastry, the chaos engine. So we're going to go over the comic synapse, the creative polarity, the stabilizing bond, the edgy driver, and then I'm going to get into the composite chart, the South Park entity. And if you don't know who these people are, they're the writers of South Park. So Stone's Gemini Sun conjunct Parker's Mercury in Gemini. This is the telepathic writer's room. Their minds operate on the same wavelength, fast, associative, satirical. Communication is effortless and prolific. The creative polarity, Parker's Libra Sun opposes Stone's Neptune in Sagittarius. Parker's need for balance and justice, Libra, is constantly provoked and inspired by Stone's blurry, absurdist take on belief systems and dogma, Neptune in Sagittarius. This opposition is the creative wellspring for their satire of sacred cows. Stabilizing bond, Stone's Aquarius Moon trine Parker's Aquarius Jupiter. Emotional compatibility through shared attachment, intellectualism, and a big picture view of humanity's absurdity. They find emotional comfort in their shared outsider perspective. The edgy driver, Parker's Aries Moon, squares Stone's Pluto in Virgo. Parker's impulsive, combative, emotional instincts, Aries Moon, clash with and are sharpened by Stone's obsessive, precise drive to deconstruct societal minutiae, Pluto in Virgo. This creates productive, relentless creative fiction. Let's get over their composite chart. The South Park entity. We're going to be looking at the composite Sun conjunct Uranus and Libra, composite Mercury and Scorpio, square composite Neptune and Aquarius, composite Mars and Aries conjunct composite Jupiter, composite midheaven in Gemini. So composite Sun conjunct Uranus and Libra. The relationship's core identity is revolutionary partnership. It exists to disrupt norms, Uranus, through the lens of relationships, fairness, and social satire, Libra. Composite Mercury and Scorpio, square composite Neptune and Aquarius. The communication style is dark, investigative, and penetrative, Scorpio, but it squares a Neptunian fog of ambiguity and collective madness, Aquarius. This perfectly describes their method, probing societal taboo, Scorpio, to reveal our shared confusing absurdity, Neptune. Composite Mars and Aries conjunct composite Jupiter. The entity's energy is bold, pioneering, massively confident, and expansionist. They attack projects with fearless Jupiterian scale and zeal. Composite midheaven in Gemini. The public face is that of the eternal, clever trickster, the mercurial, dual, and endlessly communicative. Archetypal verdict, the jester twins of the apocalypse. A Mercury-ruled mind meld, Gemini, weaponized by Uranian rebellion and Scorpionic depth. Their synastry is a near-perfect creative circuit. Their composite is a satire-dispensing machine built to dismantle hypocrisy with explosive, jovial Jupiter-Mars force. Now let's look over some other notable duos. My rapid analysis. So, let's change some colors. So Steve Jobs, Pisces, and Steve Wozniak, Leo. We know that Jobs, Pisces, Neptune, visionary squares Woz's Taurus Sun, inspired but friction pragmatism, composite Sun in Gemini. The Apple I was a communicative, dual-minded invention. Composite Saturn conjunct IC, a relationship founded on but ultimately strained by foundational structure and business realities. So David Bowie, Capricorn, and Iggy Pop, Aries. Bowie's Aquarius moon conjunct Iggy's sun, a radical, brotherly recognition. Composite moon conjunct Pluto in Virgo, an emotionally intense, chemically fueled, perfection-seeking dark night of the soul in Berlin. They both were heavily on drugs. An alchemical, transformative bond. One of my favorite songs was, and this is a song that David Bowie wrote, and Iggy Pop sang it, but I actually prefer David Bowie's version, and it's called Lust for Life. If you don't know that song, please check it out. So now I'm gonna go and change to I don't know. We'll do green again, I guess. So Prince was a Gemini, and Madonna was a Leo. Superb Leo Gemini Synastry. We just talked about this with Trump+Vance. Glamour meets wit, but likely a composite Sun square Saturn. A brief, competitive, structurally tense pairing that couldn't sustain its own potential for mutual reign. Field conclusions. Enduring creative political duos require either A, Sun Ascendant Moon conjunction, Trump+Vance, Lennon-McCartney for identity fusion, or B, a Mercury Sun synergy, Parker Stone, Jobs-Woz for seamless intellectual rapport. The composite chart's Saturn placement and aspects invariably describe the relationship's enduring challenge or structural fate. Trump+Vance's Saturn-Mercury square, dogma versus details. Parker Stone's Saturn trine Sun, discipline structure supporting their genius. The composite midheaven MC is the most accurate descriptor of the duo's public legacy and perceived joint role. These analyses reveal that the most powerful dyads are not merely compatible, they form a third distinct astrological entity, the composite, with its own destiny, often fulfilling an archetype neither individual can manifest alone. The bond serves as a cosmic catalyst for a specific form of creation or destruction. Alright. And now I want to do the Anthology of Synastry, Volumes on the Alchemy of Union, a collection of conceptual frameworks for interpreting the interplay of destinies. Volume 1, on the nature of astrological contact. The three languages of aspect. So aspects are not mere lines of geometry, but dialects of force. The trine speaks the language of the ancestral homeland, a fluent, unaccented flow of shared element. It is memory, comfort, the known. The square speaks the language of the frontier, a pigeon of necessity, forged in friction, where meaning is built through effortful translation. It is the new grammar of us. The conjunction is glossolalia, the preverbal chaotic seed sound from which a private language will be born. Glossolalia. Orb as resonance chamber. So the orb is not error, but atmosphere. A tight orb is a sealed chamber where a specific frequency hums with intense, sometimes deafening purity. A wide orb is a great hall where the aspect's theme echoes, mingles with other sounds, and becomes the ambient mood of the relational space. A 005-degree orb is a laser. A 7-degree orb is a sunrise. The same light diffused into the fabric of everything. The synastry of depths, luminary concordance and dissonance. The sun-sun dialogue answers, how do our essential selves recognize each other? A harmony suggests a shared lexicon of being. Let's say, for example, in my last video, I used a Pisces sun and a Scorpio sun. They both understand life as a deep psychic current. A dissonance asks for a translation of core identity, a heroic project of mutual literacy. The moon's placement in the other's chart, which I talked about in my other video. This is just a follow-up to my other video, but part 2. It reveals the weather of intimacy. It is the emotional climate one generates within the other's inner world. A moon in the partner's 4th house makes one feel like home. A moon squared the ascendant makes one's emotionality feel like a weather system upon the partner's skin, sometimes a warm front, sometimes a squall. Venus-Mars, the Eros-volition dynamic. So in Synastry, Venus asks, how shall we love? And Mars declares, how shall we act? Their cross aspects choreograph the dance of attraction and assertion. Venus-Mars harmony is a seamless waltz of desire and pursuit. A square is a tango, a dramatic, passionate, sometimes competitive interplay of step and counterstep. In same-gender charts, these aspects shed heteronormative scripting entirely, speaking purely of the exchange of receptive and active principles within the field. The architects of fate and will. So let's talk about Saturn, the relational architect. Saturn in Synastry is not a jailer but a stonemason. Its aspects denote where the relationship builds enduring structure, often over a foundation of initial imitation or respect. A Saturn-Venus trine builds a temple of love meant to last centuries. Saturn-Moon square builds a dam, initially felt as a containment of emotion, later revealed as the creation of a reservoir of profound depth and reliability. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, the transpersonal influx. These are not personal planets, but oceanic forces that flood the relational landscape. So Uranus brings the lightning strike of recognition, the satori of otherness that is simultaneously utterly familiar. It electrifies boundaries, demanding authenticity over convention. Neptune dissolves the seawall between two souls, creating a shared psychic ocean. The danger is not malice, but drowning, the loss of necessary ego in a blissful haze of fusion. Pluto is the relational crucible. Its aspects mark the alchemical furnace where the base metals of individual pain and power are thrown to be transmuted into a shared gold or to incinerate what cannot be transformed. The theater of houses. It's kind of like talking about, in general, astrology, it's just talking about karmic dramas. So house overlay as experiential theater. When your planet rests in your partner's house, you're an actor on the stage of their life's corresponding domain. You are not merely like a fifth house experience to them, you are the play, the romance, the child, the gamble in that sector of their existence. So again, when your planet rests in your partner's house, you are an actor on the stage of their life's corresponding domain. If your planets, for example, like let's say your moon, which is in Leo, is in your partner's fifth house of Leo, you guys are going to have a lot of fun together. You're always going to want to play and do fun things and be out there. So personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars in partners' houses. You are performing artists in that realm, actively coloring their experience of it. Social transpersonal planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto in partners' houses. You become the director, playwright, or sweeping historical force. It redefines the very purpose and meaning of that house. Let's talk about the ascendant-descendant mirror, which I've been talking a lot about, the ascendants and descendants. The primary optical law of the relationship. Your ascendant is the lens through which you see the world. Your partner's descendant is the portrait they project onto the screen of the other. When your ascendant conjuncts their descendant, you step into the frame of their most potent archetypal partner. You are to them the living answer to a deep, often unconscious question. The opposition creates a dynamic polarity, a push-pull of self and other that is the very engine of relational consciousness. The mythic instruments, asteroids, nodes, and points. The lunar nodes, the karmic plot era. We've been talking a lot about that too. Rahu is what? The north node. Ketu is what? The south node of the moon. So the nodes are not about good or bad past lives. What about narrative and momentum? Ketu contacts feel like backstory, instinctive, deja vu patterns of relating that are deeply known. Rahu contacts feel like plot development, challenging, forward-moving calls to evolve the story into new territory. A partner who strongly aspects your Rahu is a destiny editor, compelling revisions to the soul script. Let's talk about Chiron and the wound that illuminates. We talked about Chiron a little bit. So Chiron Synastry contacts are not wounds inflicted, but wounds illuminated. Where your Chiron is aspected by your partner's planet, they hold up a lantern to your deepest, oldest ache. The aspect's nature shows the style of this healing aggravation. A square may pick at the scar, a trine may offer a balm, a conjunction may merge their pain with yours to form a bridge. Healing comes not from being cured, but from being seen in that fractured place. On synthesizing the field, final treatise, the Synastry as ecosystem. A relationship is not a mechanical assembly of parts, but a living ecosystem with two human beings, or just two beings in general, two living beings. Certain aspects form the climate, the broad emotional temperature, water trines. Others form the topography, the challenging defining mountains and valleys, squares to angles, Saturn. Still others are the fauna, the dynamic living creatures of daily interaction, Mercury, Mars, and Venus. The health of the ecosystem is not determined by the absence of harsh terrain, but by biodiversity. The presence of both supportive harmonies and energizing challenges. A relationship with only trines may become a stagnant marsh, one with only squares, a barren desert. The most vibrant, enduring unions are rainforests, incredibly fertile, teeming with life, built upon rich decay and constantly transforming through dynamic, sometimes fierce, exchanges of energy. This is the ultimate art of synastry. To read not for good or bad, but to comprehend the unique world that two souls in their gravitational embrace inevitably and magnificently co-create. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you in the next one to teach you more astrology. Thank you.